The latest wave of anti-immigrant unrest in South Africa escalated in the first half of 2026, with tensions building from April and intensified towards the 30th June deadline set by anti-immigrant groups. The Nigerian consulate in Johannesburg issued a safety advisory on April 22 with protests in East London, Cape Town, Durban, and KwaZulu-Natal turning violent, with looting, property damage and injuries reported between April 27 and 29. On May 3rd, 5 Ethiopian migrants were killed in xenophobic attacks in Johannesburg. Anti-foreigner demonstrations continued through May, with groups like Operation Dudula and March leading marches.
We want the law to be enacted urgently in order to reserve the township economy for just South Africans.
Though the different groups appear somewhat confused about expelling all migrants or just undocumented people, the protests intensified across multiple cities in June, with anti-immigrant groups setting June 30 as the deadline for migrants to leave. South African cities saw protests on June 30, the deadline issued by the anti-migrant groups. They demanded stricter enforcement of immigration laws, while migrant advocates called the protest and march against African migrants inhuman, seeking instead for regularization of all foreigners. Police were deployed in Johannesburg, Pretoria, and Durban. Though no major breakdown was reported, tensions remain high. The South African government could not get the anti-migrant groups to withdraw the deadline. This appeared to have given tacit backing to what authorities insisted was not an anti-foreigner measure, saying those with valid papers are not affected, but undocumented migrants must regularize or leave.
There have been weaknesses in the way migration has been managed in our country. We must make it clear that only the authorized government officials may act against violations of the law, including violations of our immigration laws. No other person is allowed, for example, to confront someone in the street, in the pathways of our country, to demand proof of identity.
Compliance raids were confirmed in Gauteng area, where the deadline was marred by reports of aggressive raids. Community leaders allege that a Nigerian trader died during a raid. The Nigerian mission says it is monitoring the case and engaging Victoria for facts.
Our citizens are being harassed. Our citizens, their properties are being looted. Criminal actions are perpetuated on our citizens. The police refuse to do anything. The South African government has not come out strongly, firmly enough to condemn these incidents.
In response, Abuja activated voluntary evacuation. A second Air Peace flight landed in Lagos at about 10:48 a.m. on June 30 with 269 Nigerians. That brings the total to 335 after 66 were evacuated from South Africa on June 24 via a South African Airways flight. Ambassador Haruna Ali Gombe received them on behalf of President Bola Tinubu and said more flights are expected. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says diplomacy remains the focus. Abuja will continue high-level engagement with Pretoria to protect Nigerians, demand due process in raids, and keep evacuation corridors open. With the expiration of the deadline, there are concerns about what will happen to Nigerians still trapped in South Africa, who are willing to return home before the next evacuation flight arrives. The Nigerian government says its priority now is protecting its citizens abroad and accounting for every reported case of abuse. Sadiat Dusumu, AIT News, Abuja.